So we're going to do first 20, and then we're going to restart and do the next 20, and restart and do the next 20. One of the things that I see a lot of people do, and this is kind of the big thing, is they kind of restart this. They're both up here now. She's just asking for food, and he's being a thing. They kind of sit here and they agonize and agonize and agonize over what dupes they're gonna get. There's really, everybody can be worked around. There's only really one that's like super pain in the butt to work around to start, and that would be Varders. Right? If they're flatulent, it's just not as easy to work around. But this is actually a fairly good starting crew, right? I don't have anybody that has negative strength. Negative strength would suck. I don't have anybody with negative athletics. Negative athletics would suck. We've got a pretty good spread of what people want to do. Irritable bowel is fine. It's actually almost preferred later on because we'll get more polluted water out of him. Yokel is fine because somebody else wants to do... they're good at learning, so she doesn't want to do stuff, but that's okay. This is all just fine. So we're just going to embark and say, hey, let's go, let's do the thing, and let's go. First things first, pause your game and just look, right? You want to look for your sources of water, and you want to look for where is your algae, where is your metal, right? This is a pretty decent starting zone, okay? We've got water right here. This is probably the most accessible water that we have. We could dig up, but this is a pretty good distance to dig, honestly, to come get water. We've got a bunch of oxalate, and I hate the idea that it bleeds into here, because that means that this is going to, right, as we dig this way, this is going to overpressurize and just kind of stop, but then it's gonna blow in. So we can't just save this oxalate for later if we need some emergency oxygen. So what we're going to do is there's two priorities for day one. The first one is to get bathrooms, and the second one is to get access to water, right? So we want to immediately control our food poisoning and our disease by making sure that they have a place to use the bathroom and making sure that they have a ability to wash their hands. And to do that, we're just going to do your stuff. Wookie, how are you, sir? Welcome back today. We're going to play it. This. So let's see, we've got bum, 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 bum. I'm going to access this water, so to do that, I'm going to come over. Now, generally, what we'll do is we're going to lip stuff, right? And then we're also going to put our bathrooms to start, we're going to put them down here. Okay? It doesn't really matter where you put your bathrooms, just make sure that you have them kind of out of the way. Now, for the beginning, what you want to do is you want to have at least 2 outhouses, and you want to have room for at least 2 sinks, but you can probably get away with 1 sink to start. One thing, I've been watching a bunch of streams, and one thing that I see people kind of... Yeah, I blew shit up again, but this time I blew up real shit. I blew up like legit, like PC shit. One of the things that I see a lot of people, streamers, people that I was watching kind of videos on YouTube and stuff, they forget that room bonuses exist. And room bonuses are super important, mostly because they're free benefits to your colony. Right, we can then set our direction to left, and then they're going to come down here. We're going to do our pitcher pump. And then we're also going to lip the water, bring it down. I want to just build kind of a little cistern thing. So we're going to have a thing and a ladder that goes down. And then we're going to have some tiles for a floor. Now, you'll see that naturally what I'm doing is I'm avoiding building in the tiles directly next to the ladder. Oh, we also didn't do a job thing, but I'm not too worried about it. Jobs are important, but not that important. They are super important, but honestly, getting access to bathrooms and water to kind of get stuff up and running, a little bit more important than the jobs. This is probably a good time to figure out where we want to put our beds. So let's... Like, we're going to have water here. We'll probably do some, like, the research station and stuff like that right here, because the research station takes water to use. So we're going to put our beds right here to start. And we're just going to kind of do something like this. And we'll dig that out. And we will just give ourselves beds. Now, beds by the end of day 1 would have been nice, but it's not a huge issue. We're okay. So that means day 1, we got wash basin, we've got outhouses, and we've got water all set up, right? We're going to have beds for day 2. Yeah, you can let the doors open. It doesn't really matter, especially with these pneumatic doors. The only way that this pneumatic door would matter if it was open or closed is if I had trapped a hatch in this room, right? If there was a hatch in this room, I would keep this door closed to try to keep it in there for a while, but it doesn't really, like, it doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, the only, because it can be, if you get lucky, or if you kind of coax a hatch into your bathroom to start, one of the nice things is that hatch will eat the polluted dirt that comes out of these, and it will give you coal instead, which at the beginning is really, really nice. Because 1, you then don't have to deal with the polluted dirt, and 2, you then can just, you know, use the coal for your eventual first coal station, which is pretty nice. So I kind of was saying a second ago that what you're seeing is I'm purposefully avoiding building in these 2 spaces, right? A cheapo projector and use it to watch the stream above your bed? Oh God, please! I would feel almost self-conscious if I knew that was a thing. Oddly self-conscious if I knew that was a thing. Sorry, I didn't, it's been a day, man. I didn't do it. I've been saying I would do this for a while, so I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do the 20, restart, 20, restart, 20, restart. Don't Starve was fun, though. I had fun yesterday. You know, it took a little bit of time, but I was okay with it. Kind of getting things together. I think I did do some research on it, and that's just wrong, dude. I did do some research on it, and one of the cool things that I found out about... You're a weird dog, dude. One of the things that I found out is that we can increase the amount of people able to connect to a Don't Starve server. The real theoretical maximum is 64, so we'll do that at some point. I'm not worried about a dedicated server yet. Pro tip: copy settings is / copy paste. Done. So your first 2 cycles should really be kind of just getting the basics put together, right? So now we're gonna have a research station. We're doing this so that we can research farming to start, and that's just, you're gonna research everything, not super fast, or you can kind of take the rush research route and go and do what you want to do. But end of day 2 now, we've got a dupe on a wheel, we've got ourselves some storage compactors, which they're going to finish in 2 seconds, so I'm going to copy this up, or not. And the end of the night, here we go. I should probably give them jobs. Let's give them jobs. In the morning, we're going to have an art student, because why not? A miner, and a general engineer. Hold shift when you are building to make straight lines. Believe it or not, this works. I am guilty of not making it work. Wait, are you a... You're a loud sleeper! Wait, no, you just have hypothermia. Okay, I was just saying, God, I didn't remember anybody had loud sleeping, but he just has hypothermia. It is one thing to watch out for in the beginning of the game. If you have them working underwater, they'll get hypothermia really, really, really quick. Right, they'll just be super hypothermic, super fast. It just makes them slower. Hey, hat time! Hat time? And hat time. Yeah, I wasn't planning on naming people, because it's not gonna last a long time. And then I'm gonna build this to be kind of some food. Right. One of the other things that you can do is to start, your food goes bad, right? I mean, that's just what it is. When you have this set up and running, so we're just going to research, we're going to do basic farming. because this is kind of the most, for early, this is the most important thing. And I'm going to set this to 7 because when I want them to research at the beginning, especially right now, I want them to do it like, I want them to do it. 2 sinks in your bathroom in case 2 dupes are going to the bathroom. Yeah, eventually we'll probably get to a point where we do 2 sinks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 sink here, and then I'm actually going to do another sink here in front of a micro musher. Yeah, when this bathroom gets expanded, when we add like 1 or 2 more dupes, we'll probably do that. Where, right, we'll expand this out to 3 or 4 outhouses, or we'll probably get lavatories by that point, and then two wash basins. Right, we'll have lavatories before the end of 20, I'm sure. So now food, micro musher. Right, we want to make food. I could plan for the future. I don't normally use more than 1, but some people do. It gives me enough space to work on it. Electrical wire is unique in the idea that it actually causes negative decor. That's why you see me running it through the floors in a lot of places. What do we got? What do we got? Strength. I look for strength. Small bladder, that's fine. Research and build, research. Yeah, research and build, a herald. Yeah. And I like to grab the 4th and the 5th dupes pretty quick. So let's get him a bed. Right, so this wire gives negative decor, right? -5 to 4.5 decor, because it's built out of copper, and copper gives it an extra 10%. If you run it through the floor, that decor doesn't go anywhere. They don't see it, so it doesn't go. So this is just one of them. One of the dupes is sick, one of the dupes has hypothermia. And we're just gonna make some mush bars. And we're gonna wait 2 seconds. Harold is gonna be our learning person. Harold is going to be a research assistant. Come get your hat, Harold. Get your hat, get your hat, get your hat, get your hat, get your hat. Yeah, he'll be fine. It's hypothermia. It's way early on. Now, one thing that I did notice is, look, this is going to be slime lung down here. There's probably going to be some slime lung. Oh, man. Why is it that we're going to redo this one in 20? So this is a geyser right here. We'll talk about it when we get over that way, because honestly, in the first 20 turns, you should not. There's not really abyssalite borders between the original biome and the surrounding biomes anymore. There is in like little places, but it's mostly separating these. They just don't exist as much anymore, right? So it is possible to have quote unquote, you know, slime lung in your starting base. In the first 20 turns, though, the chances that you're digging out something that has slime lung, unless you're specifically going for it, is pretty slim. So Harold's got a thing. We're making some food. Once he researches his food, we're going to build some extra food down here. The other guys are just kind of chilling out. We should probably get them some oxygen, right? Because we're running out of the oxalate up here. What are we looking at? Yeah, we should probably get them some oxygen. So we're just going to put one right here. What we want to do is we want to pressurize down here with carbon dioxide, and then eventually down here with carbon dioxide. And we want to just make sure that the oxygen is in the areas that they live, specifically. So we're just going to put one here. We're going to give it some power. And then I'm going to tell them to, like, do this, because I want it done. But the beginning of the game is really not... It's not a rush. You should take your time. You should kind of chill out, right? This isn't a race. We just finished basic farming. So we're going to go advanced research so we get access to the supercomputer so that we can move a little bit further. We'll put a supercomputer over here. Right now, I'm really not caring about heat, right? Heat is... everything that uses electricity or generates electricity is also going to generate heat. And I'm not worried about it right now because it's just... it's not worth expanding to take that heat out, but eventually we are going to get to the point where expanding, right, the heat becomes more of a problem than anything else. You're welcome, Mana Point. I always forget that the VODs exist and people actually watch them, so it's like, oh my god, what are we doing? So this first thing that we researched, I always rush this. You don't have to, but you do. You have to. This gives us ration boxes and planter boxes, right? And then it also gives us compost. Compost you're really not going to use for quite some time, but it's a good way to start kind of managing polluted dirt out of your bathroom. Planter boxes, you're not necessarily going to use. You could skip them entirely and be okay. However, you could just use them to start growing mealwood. I'm going to skip them this round and go for farm tiles because it's more space economical. And ration boxes are what you're going to use forever and ever and ever to store your food. So food goes in a ration box. Now the nice part about these is that later on they give you access to refrigerators. Refrigerators take 120 watts of power. One of the problems with refrigerators is if the power goes out, it actually drops all the food on the ground and stops refrigerating it, which totally sucks. So you would think that, hey, a refrigerator is going to hold food for longer or it's going to last longer, but in reality, if you take a ration box, not only does it hold more food than a refrigerator and require less power, right? It requires 0 power. If you put it in carbon dioxide, right, you're going to see that as we get more carbon dioxide down here, right, this thing is going to start pressurizing up here. We're going to get carbon dioxide pushed down here. Naturally, it's going to go to the bottom right-hand corner of our base. And what's going to happen is these are going to be in a sterile atmosphere. And you'll see that this one's pretty well solid on it. And then this one it's kind of coming on and coming off. But you'll see right underneath unrefrigerated, it says sterile atmosphere. And that just means that what's going to happen is that food's not going to go bad as fast. Yeah, the only problem with fridges now that I've seen is they seem to be, did we already? Yep, we did. And now it's really just your choice what you want to research for the first 20, right? It kind of depends on what you find. I know that I want to research art to start because I don't want, right, their stress is going up. We're going to manage their stress through art. The problem with the refrigerators is if they lose power for too long, they drop all the food on the ground now, which, right, that doesn't help anybody. Your food on the ground is just bad news. So, one thing to note, by the way, that you have a ration box that starts with you. However, it only has nutrient bars available to it. If you're going to use this and not build your own, you have to make sure to add mush bars and stuff like that. I'm actually going to deconstruct it, and I'm going to priority 8 these two. The reason that I'm doing that is because I want them to prioritize taking food and putting it in storage, right? Where it will hopefully last a little bit longer. And then I'm going to keep just going mush bars. You just kept it in carbon? That works. I mean, at that point, though, why not use a ration box? But it works. Carbon dioxide is wonderful. You have it at the beginning, use it. So many people, like, they're super afraid of carbon dioxide, and I'm gonna actually do this. And do this. This is gonna be my kind of poor man's airflow tile right here. And give us a little bit more space to work out. So many, oh, I just killed the power for it though. So many people get afraid of carbon dioxide, like, oh my god, I have to get rid of it, and they build these algae terrariums, and they're like, oh my god, I'm gonna purge all of the carbon dioxide. But realistically, it's useful, and eventually, like, you're gonna just take all of your carbon dioxide and send it to puffs, or not to puffs, but to slicksters anyway. So for now, just learn to manage it and not necessarily get rid of it. But it's fine. So we're on cycle 5. We just did the first art. We've got 4 dupes working. We'll get another dupe in about another cycle. They come every 3 cycles as long as you keep taking them. It takes 3 cycles for the gate to recharge. So we'll just kind of, we're cleaning up. Cleanup is super important as long as you keep on top of it. I'm actually going to prioritize cleaning up here. The only thing is every single piece of stuff on the ground is negative decor, right? So right now they're actually probably gaining stress because there's so much stuff on the ground. So we're gonna pick up while we're researching. No rush, no rushes. We're in actually a really good spot. We've started kind of getting some of the things. I'm going for this blank canvas right here. This canvas is like the best thing that we could possibly get. And we're just we're chilling and waiting. We could put in compost somewhere, but eh. Can I check to see if the fridge also gets one once you get one? Yeah, if we get the fridge this go around. Yeah, we can check. So I'm gonna get ready for, I know that I'm going to take and build my bedroom up here. So I'm gonna get ready and start kind of clearing out this, because I know that we're about to do, we're about to do paintings, right? I'm about to make paintings. This is a muck root. Muck roots are food that you don't have to cook. It's good. Oh, yeah, and of course, you know, today, because I was super, I was like, oh yeah, you know, I was pumped. We were gonna do this 20 restart thing. I was pumped. I was like, oh, this is cool. This is cool. Lurker Oniwiki says that fridges also get sterile atmospheres. There you go. So I was like, oh, this is awesome. You know what? I don't want to do these. Instead, what I'll do is make it so that it's here. You're seeing that I'm doing 4 high in the room, but they can only actually dig 2 tiles above their head. So I'm gonna leave these tiles undone. And so that way they can dig and build this, and then I'll dig out these tiles. Today marks the first month that I've been streaming. 1 whole month. So here. We've started getting polluted dirt, because they've had to undo this outhouse. The polluted dirt, 1 month, yeah. 1 month. 1 month today. So the outhouses, when they get cleaned, they give you polluted dirt. When this gets cleaned, it's also going to give you polluted water. You have to deal with those things. Right now, the polluted dirt isn't really going anywhere. They'll put it down here because I didn't tell them that they can't. But that polluted dirt puts off polluted oxygen. And it's not putting off a lot, right? It's putting off 2 grams of oxygen a second, which is just nothing. Nothing, right? We're gonna take our 5th dupe. Wow, that's you are not fun, huh? But none of the things that you are bad, but I like you. I don't want to work around. We'll take you. So none of the things that right, this isn't putting out enough polluted oxygen for me to super care right now, but you got to be thinking about it and say, okay, right, the next time that they clean this, that's going to double. And the time that they clean this, it's going to go up to 1.5%, you know, 150%, and then 200%. And then it starts generating a lot of oxygen, you know, polluted oxygen, and that polluted oxygen that it's generating has food poisoning, right? So right now, my dupes are breathing in a little, but they are breathing in food poisoning. And eventually that could get super bad. So we got to figure out a way to deal with that. There's a handful of ways. We can either take a storage compactor, bury it underwater, and put it... I wouldn't do that. That works for slime lungs super well, but not for other things. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to come down here. Polluted oxygen is heavier than oxygen. And I'm just going to put a compost down here for now. So compost is under refinement compost. I'm going to put a compost down there for now, and I'm just going to let it sit down there, right? So the carbon dioxide is going to come down here, so is the polluted oxygen. I'm just going to give it a thing and let it go. Eventually, what you would do is you would kind of put it into its own space, run a deodorizer, it becomes regular oxygen, and off you go. But for me right now, I'm just going to say, you know what? I'm going to put a compost down here, let it go, and then eventually we're going to have to plant a farm. Actually, let's... Oh. And we need a supercomputer. And blah, 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 tiny battery. I'm going to add another battery to the mix just because I want it to run a little bit longer without somebody being on the wheel. But we have an engineer, actually, don't we? Yeah, you're an engineer. He's just going to run. That's his job. So we've got our bedroom. Let's give ourselves the door. Lip your hallways, so that way if they pee, it doesn't necessarily always come down here. Right now, we're protecting our water supply super, super well, right? For them to get... Basically, for them to ruin my water supply at this point, they would have to pee right here. Or puke right here, right? That just wouldn't be a thing. Ren needs a job. Let's give Ren a job. No, we already had one of those. Let's make him a gopher. Ren can be a gopher. So we've got that. Let's give ourselves a tile here. And then priority, get this done. And then Harold's going to finish our research. We're going to get paintings pretty much just in time to get our stuff done. And let's dig that up for some food. Not too worried. No rush. We're easy going. We're not going to, like... Nothing's going to explode. We have no real problems at this point. I hate the idea that this was bridged up here, and I would love to close it off, but it's not a big deal because it is pressurizing from up here. No big deal. You're at a point where the algae deoxidizer... No, you're fine. Okay, so we do this. I'm leaving this so that they can dig and build these while being able to reach without having to dig out all of this stuff. So I'm purposefully leaving those. And then this, I'm going to say, is an 8, and so that way they're going to prioritize. I do not want them to give us agriculture, not fertilizer. I do not want them to give us cultivatable soil, dirt. No, I do want dirt. Organic. Ah, polluted dirt. No polluted dirt. Copy settings. Paste. So we're going to chill for a sec. Ren needs a bed. He'll have a bed when we do this. I feel bad for him, but it's what it is. Okay. So why do we do this? You can see that my stress actually is going down a little bit, which means Harold was the highest. What is Harold? Yeah, Harold's our researcher. So Harold was kind of doing our whole stress problem. We're going to make a farm in a second, so we're just going to do meal prep. And Harold was super stressed out. We want to manage their stress because... And I would like to do it without using... I would like to do it without using... A table, right? A massage table, mostly because the massage table takes a lot of power, especially to start. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of spam some paintings, and I'm going to spam some of these statues in places, right? Because what I want is I want them to feel comfortable and at home in their hovel here. Realistically, the place should look like a museum. Like, you should always have your cave look like a museum. And that's just going to make them happier, and a happier dupe doesn't puke in your water supply. We're going to revisit that theme a whole lot, I promise. And then let's give people new beds. You need electrolyzers. That is your second and final source of source of oxygen that you will really do in the game. Electrolyzer setups are not, like, crazy. People get really weird about electrolyzers. They're really easy to kind of figure out, right? It's just, there's a little math involved, but it's not too bad. An electrolyzer generates a kilogram of oxygen, or a kilogram of gas, 888 grams of oxygen, and 112 grams of hydrogen, okay? Yeah, no, it doesn't use hydrogen, it creates hydrogen. It uses water to create oxygen and hydrogen. So, it makes, yeah. So it generates those. You have to both gather and sort both of those. Or you don't have to gather the hydrogen. You can just let it float wherever. Yep, it does take water. You can just let it float wherever. But I see a lot of people who will, like, build these outside their base, and then they'll have a single vent coming into their base, right? And they'll build 2 or 3 of these things. Now, we just finished our farm tiles, which is good because that means we're going to build our first mealwood farm. Even though we don't have a ton of mealwood seeds, we're going to build our mealwood farm. Let's see what we've got. So I know that this area is going to heat up faster than this area right here, because this biome is going to influence this. This biome will influence this. This biome will influence this. There's a cold biome right here, which is, like, awesome. So we've got that there. Now, this corner of my base is pretty much shot. I'm not going to be able to build things down here. Well, I'm going to be able to build things, but I'm not going to be able to grow things. It'll work for, like, the first 100 or 200 cycles, but this is a steam geyser. And this steam geyser outputs steam above 212 degrees Fahrenheit, right? Above 100 degrees Celsius. And that means that that's actually going to heat up this entire area a whole lot. Like, this is a huge source of heat. So eventually what I'll have to do is I will have to go and actually, like, enclose this in abyssalite to keep the heat out. But that also means that since this is a source of heat, and a big one at that, right? This is kind of out of play. This up here is probably my best shot right now for building a farm. Not only do we have most of it already dug out, so we're already utilizing most of the space, but it's kind of in the center. It's going to stay the right temperature for the longest amount of time without external influence. So we're going to build our mealwood farm above our bedrooms. Farms are easy. All they require is both plants and a farm station. We haven't even researched the farm station yet, but we know what they look like, so we're going to try to build it, right? So we know that what we're going to have is we're going to have a door. And then we're actually going to have we'll do the farm station over here. So we'll do the door, and then we're going to have a farm station. That's these 6 tiles. And then we're going to have mealwood that's in this area. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we're going to have 10 mealwood. That works out really well, actually. Even though I'm sure they'll hate this, I am getting rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I am getting rid of their 10. And I am building them a ladder. And then I'm going to build, right, so they're going to get rid of these tiles. I'm going to build their ceiling out of tiles. Mealwood takes up 2 spaces, so I can do more tiles. And then mealwood takes up 2 spaces, I can do more tiles. This is going to give me 30 mealwood plants. That's plenty to start. And then I'm going to tell them to make it so. We get another dupe. Yeah, we're okay to grab another dupe. Let's do it. Kindness, strength, we want him. Oh, it's a Camille too. We're going to take the Camille. The Camille has high strength. Hard to do. Does the farm tile use more water? No. Irrigated tiles do, but farm tiles do not. Farm tiles will only use, actually, they're not going to use any water at all. Right, they're not going to provide water because mealwood doesn't require water. So mealwood requires only dirt at this point. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, mealwood, you get dirt. There are other crops that require irrigation. The only one that requires water for irrigation is sleet wheat. And you're not going to screw with the sleet wheat until, like... Well, you would have to have cracked into a cold biome. You would have to have gotten a whole bunch of stuff. So, I mean, it's... Sleet wheat... That's a thing. That's a whole day in its own. We're going to just build the farm tomorrow. And Camille needs a job. Camille wants to be a chef, so we'll make Camille a chef. I aim for dupes with high strength, because strength indicates how much they can carry, and it's not the easiest to train. You can train it with some other stuff, but I like it. Or high agility. What do they call it? It's not agility. We're not even making things. Let's go to coal. Where are we? Cycle 10? So we're halfway into what this would be. I hate sand. I hate sand with a passion. This is all going to collapse too, which sucks, but it is what it is. So, we're going to make him build this. We're going to give it a second. No rush. No rush, though. We're still fine. We're still doing well. We have an artist that's painted us some masterpieces already. There's a blank spot between... I did, but that's okay. Tonight is all about asking every question you can think of, right? We're gonna go to turn 20, or we're gonna go to cycle 20. I keep calling them turns. We're gonna go to cycle 20, and then we're gonna restart. And we're gonna go to cycle 20, and we're gonna restart. And we are literally just gonna focus on super early game tonight, right? And where we can get and what kind of pitfalls we see depending on what we look at, right? There's space between this because the way that the game does gas calculations, right? One of the problems, you're suffocating. Why? Because you can't get out this door. Because you can't, yeah, because you can't leave. You'll notice it'll tell you that, oh my god, he's suffocating. Most of the time, it means that they can't get somewhere. Just fix it, and you'll be okay, right? Just figure out what's in their path, and you'll be okay. A lot of them are having problems. He's gonna bury himself. Yeah, there we go. So, like, now they can't get... They're stuck because they can't get over this. Now he's stuck because they can't get over this. This is the sand, and I hate sand. It's gonna happen here and here, too. The way that the game does gas calculations... it has trouble doing gas exchanges in one tile wide gaps, right? And ladders don't, from a gas perspective, a ladder is basically invisible. Come on, dude. We're gonna save Rowan. Come on, man. God, you're annoying, dude. But that's the... No, there's one more tile he can possibly do himself. If a dupe can kill himself, he's gonna do it. Who made a mess? Why did you make a mess? Where did you make a mess? Oh, you did. What? Why? Oh, because Harold is stuck. Oh, alright. So let's cancel these, because that's a pain in the butt. And let's just give him a ladder to deal with right now. No big deal. If they have the ability to, like, dig themselves into a bad spot, they're gonna do it. And you're gonna find that you spend most of your time in this game, to be honest, fighting duplicate AI. Okay, either way. Gases. Gases have problems exchanging between one wide gaps. The ladder is invisible to gas, so the game's doing these calculations that say what should the gas do every cycle, right? Every tick. 3 wide gaps allow the gas to flow a lot easier, so you're going to find... Yeah, dupe AI is the worst. You're going to find that if you do this gap... I've seen some people do 5. I think 5 is excessive. If you do this gap, you're going to find that your oxygen settles easier and that your carbon dioxide settles easier. Right? It's just to make it so that the gases flow a little bit easier. Okay, now please build farm tiles. And clean up their pee. Oh, you guys already did. Good dupes. So now they're gonna sleep. Yeah, you're gonna find fighting dupe AI is probably like... is probably the biggest obstacle in a lot of this game is fighting dupe AI. And then... So what do we got to do after this? We've got... I want them to build... So we're going to plant mealwood. If we hit plant and then we copy settings, we can actually apply it to everything, even though we don't have that many seeds. And then as we get seeds, they'll plant it. As long as it's got that the white outline, we can just plant it. And it doesn't matter as long as we copy the settings. Right, and that super beats like having to go click it, come here, click the tile, come here, click the tile, come here, click the tile. Just take it, back, you know, backspace, and go. Okay, so that's gonna be fixed. We need a place to do polluted water. Let's dump... Let's dump polluted water kind of at the end of the bathroom. So we'll make sure that the bathroom kind of comes out. Let's plan out our endgame bathroom here, right? So what we want is we want 2 sinks. So 1 sink, 2 sinks. And then I like putting a statue. So that's 1 sink, 2 sink, statue, 1 bathroom, 2 bathroom, 3 bathroom, 4 bathroom. That'll be the wall for the end of the bathroom. And then let's build our polluted water tank. This isn't going to be huge, mostly because I want to be able to deal with... I want to be able to use my polluted water. I don't see in my immediate vicinity a natural gas geyser, so I'm going to operate under the assumption that I'm not going to find one for quite some time, right? Natural gas geyser would solve, well, basically does solve all of your power problems. The problem is you have to find the damn thing. And I didn't find one. And then we're going to dig this out 2 or 3 at a time, so that way they can build all of the walls and be okay. And then, hey, why? Oh. And now we've got mealwood growing. So we'll wait for a little bit. Okay, we've started kind of running on power problems. The one wheel, like they're running, they're kind of getting it going, but we've got a lot of stuff that uses it, right? This whole gasping for air is increasing their stress, but realistically, it's also meaning that they use less oxygen. And that sounds super mean, and if it does sound super mean to you, I agree, it is. But it also means that we don't have to deal with them so much. And then I want a bottle opener, and then eventually... Oh, nope. Oh, I keep hitting that. How many cycles can you go on starting rations and mush bars before you need to set up a farm? You can run mush bars until, like... Hell, you can run mush bars until cycle 100. Like, if you really hate yourself, and you hate your dupes, you can run dirt until cycle 100 easy, right? And still have dirt left. There is a lot of dirt on this map, and, you know, mine actually doesn't have as much, but if you take a look, every single one of these tiles of dirt is 1.5 kilogram, or, you know, 1,500 kilograms. When you mine something, you only get half of what the tile is, so mining this gives me 750 kilograms of dirt. It's a lot. It's a lot of dirt. Should you run dirt that long? No. And the only reason is because it's not super efficient. And you're actually better off spending that dirt. Why does the gamma on the game seem lower? You missed the speech about how I, yep. Duretic knows the speech. You missed the speech about how I blew up the computer earlier. Hold on. Let me get the, hold on, I'll change it. I think I can change it. Let's see. Okay, there you go. Oh, what? Alright, well, it looks fine, but I know I just fixed it. If you weren't family, I would just be... Hold on. I'll make it less now. We're at night, it doesn't matter. The dupes are doing what they want. I'm not worried about it. Properties. Configure video. I was an idiot earlier, just so we're all catching up on how bad I am at things. I was an idiot earlier, and I decided that, hey, I've been streaming for a month. I should, like, fix the computer that I had running the actual stream. And so I fixed it. And by fixed it, I mean I blew up the motherboard. So I had to go to Fry's and grab a new motherboard. I blew it up good. I blew it up good. You know what we need? We need doors. What I want is I only want... So one of the reasons that we're blowing a lot of power right now and we're having problems with it is because we have two people researching at the same time, right? This is taking 120 watts, that's taking 60 watts. It's a lot of power. I'm going to make it so that only Harold researches. And so I'm going to go to jobs, I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to say research, nobody, but Harold's going to because he requires that they do it, right? That's auto. I run a dual PC setup. I have for a long time now. And now, after he's done researching, what is he researching? Oh, we're doing coal. After he's done researching that, we'll do some doors for some pressure. Keep stuff in. Why are these not getting... Dual PC. What are we doing? We've got, you know what? We got a lot of food. Oh, important. We just started growing meal lice. They are not allowed to eat meal lice. If we let them eat meal lice, we're doing ourselves a huge disservice by not making it into lice loaf. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cancel and redo it. That's kind of an annoying bug, isn't it? And then let's get that done. So we're making some food, we're doing some stuff, but I want this done because I want to be able to now take care of, right, we've got some polluted water in here. This is giving off polluted oxygen. We'll sweep the bedroom in a minute. I'm not super worried about it because they do have all of these masterpieces and this genius sculpture, quaint, that is kind of helping it out. However, I want to deal with the fact that right now, like, this is, emitting polluted oxygen, emitting polluted oxygen, emitting polluted oxygen. This is emitting polluted oxygen. We want to, do it. I had a tile there. Told them to deconstruct it and also build that farm tile. Confuse the game. Dupes can't see it. Yeah, they should be able to see them now. They're just focusing on this. So then, let's... Oh, Gossman! Oh, God! She's dead. Nope, nope, nope! Yep, she's dead. I was an idiot. I wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention to the farm. I wasn't paying attention here. No big deal, no big deal. Hey, don't do that. What do I do when I run out of water? You should... Before you run out of water... Yeah. Curse you, dupe AI. Yeah, they're the worst. They really are that bad. You find a steam geyser. I have one. This map started with a steam geyser basically touching the starter biome, which is, like, super nice. You can set up... Yeah, well, I'm not... yeah, you know what? Let's just for now, just to get her out of here, let's just do that. We're on 12, so not too bad. But we've already found her replacement. You. Oh, wait, no. You. Yeah, you. And she's going to be a gopher. Nails. Punch in hat time. Okay. Normally you want to pay more of an attention and not be like, why is this not working? And meanwhile it's like, you're starving to death, you're starving to death, you're suffocating, but that's why we're going to start multiple bases tonight. And off we go. Traits for dupe selection after start. There's not. Just whatever you want to... Whatever you hate dealing with, don't deal with it. Right? If you hate dealing with flatulence, like I do, I don't think flatulence... I never take a flatulent. Very, very rarely. So if you hate dealing with it, don't do it. But there's nothing in the game that can't be worked around, right? If you get a loud sleeper, you'd make them their own bedroom. If you get somebody who... The best one is the one that, small bladder, because it makes their bathroom hustle go down. or go up. And what that means is they actually use the bathroom for longer, which seems like a bad idea, but once you get to the point that you're using latrines, it actually means you get more polluted water from that duplicate than from other duplicates. And that's important because then you're going to take that polluted water, and as long as you haven't found a natural gas geyser anywhere, that's your power, right? You take that polluted water, you make it into fertilizer, the fertilizer makers make you natural gas, the natural gas goes to a natural gas geyser, and from there, you then get more clean polluted water, and I say clean because it doesn't have any food poisoning in it anymore after it's gone through that cycle, and you get yourself basically regular water out of it. We're gonna rush decontam. Yeah, let's rush decontamination. So this will be our bathroom in a minute. And then let's just put a door so that this is too big to count for a problem right now, but I'm not too worried about it. And then build these two, clean that. And then clean this. 7. I'm not sure it actually did it. I didn't hear the sound. Nothing is off the table though, right? If you've got an awesome system of dealing with flatulence and you use it to power a natural gas generator over time, and you're just trying to get a little bit of extra out of it, take them. They're fine, right? You know where it's going to settle. You know that natural gas is going to settle on top of the carbon dioxide in the bottom of your base, right? So right now it would settle right here. And just know that you're going to have to plan for it. I don't like them. It's just me. But I do appreciate that they're workaroundable. I've started kind of not caring about heavy sleeper or light, loud sleepers, because I just give them their own bedrooms at that point. I like pacifists because I don't generally kill a lot of things. Every once in a while, I'll kill a hatch that's kind of eating stuff that I really want. But as a general rule, I actually don't kill things. And then we finished our farm. No, we didn't. Have I found a solution for the steam turbine? No. Not a permanent one. Not in a non-creative game. In a non-creative game, I don't think we have the tools to work with it yet. As seems to be the general consensus, right? Because lava isn't... As terrible as this sounds, lava is not infinite, and you will run out of lava. It's just not a... I think the next patch, from all of the rumors that I've heard, next patch is like this dealing with magma and heat and super high temperature stuff and all of that. And I think that's going to be kind of our bit, but I don't think we're too far off. And then let's kick it back up to speed. So we're okay here. This will be a farm when we build a farm station. And we can check the farms. It's 74 tiles. We could actually make this another bigger, like another level up, but this is plenty for now. This is going to be a room. Once this door gets built, this is going to be a bathroom again. And we can do coal generator. So let's start thinking about power. We're going to put a coal generator down here. Not only does it generate a lot of heat, it generates a lot of carbon dioxide. And let's plant these up in our world. So I want it down where the carbon dioxide is already going to go, right? I know that the carbon dioxide is going to be down here. I'm kind of dealing with it. Right, we're using this to kind of push it this way. I'm going to need to get air pressure tiles, actually. But first, we're going to... Here's a pump. And... Yeah, we need to... We'll deal with oxygen in 2 seconds. And then, what are we doing? Oh, bathroom. I like to bring it up to here, and then this will be cold water. This will be water. And then power. Let's grab a battery. We don't have smart batteries yet. We'll rush them in a minute. And let's just make you part of the circuit. And then oxygen. We kind of need a second oxygen at this point. I'm not going to worry about doing too much. I am just going to do another deoxidizer. I guess it's cycle 14. It's probably time to do more than one. So we're going to do that. Now, this circuit is still okay. People overload their circuits a lot, and then they're like, oh my god, things stop working. But you're at a point where a circuit can only have 1,000 watts of draw before it overloads. At that 1,000 watts of draw, that's when it starts to overload. Now, it's okay to have more than 1,000 watts of machinery on a circuit, right? However, it's only when you go over that 1,000 watts of load that it goes, right? So I'll have, in probably a little bit, I'll probably have, well, we'll mouse over it and see. So there's currently 540 watts on this circuit. We're going to get to a point where it's probably got like 1,500 watts on this circuit. And when it's got 1,500 watts, as long as everything's not being used at the same time, it's okay. But the second that it goes over 1,000 watts of draw, it's not. So now we've got power. This is kind of going. We can deprioritize this wheel. And we're going to say that they only use it if this drops to 5%. And then I want them to refill this if the batteries are down to 25% to start. And I want that to be a thing. Right. So now instead of running, everybody can kind of do their stuff. We're going to have more oxygen that comes up here. And we're going to have, this is going to pressurize a little bit better. So the next thing that they're researching for me is sanitation. This is going to give us bathrooms and showers. So we're going to do bathrooms in here. Showers are kind of a gimmick, and unless you're having polluted water problems, they're just not, they're not worthwhile. Let's finally bury Gossman. It's unfortunate that she's had to be this long. And then also do that. And we're going to need power down here too. So what? There we go. And then we're going to have plumbing problems-ish. So we're going to do this, come down to here, and we're going to do a liquid vent. It does not matter where you place the liquid vent for your polluted water, because they won't overpressurize. Right? The liquid vents won't overpressurize. It'll just keep building and building and building, even if it's over it. However, if you have like a water pump and stuff, and I placed a liquid vent right here, it wouldn't actually pump water into it. It's only the polluted water that has positive pressure. Don't know why. And then I know that I'm planning out my bathroom. Right. So we're gonna get this up in a second, and we're gonna go. We have a food shortage. Priority 9. Just keep making food. And then they're gonna build. Not bad for 15, actually. Which, the polluted water thing? I think it's intended. It just means that you have to actually pay attention to your polluted water, to be honest. But it's the only one that has, like, actually, like, super positive pressure for some reason. But I have a feeling it's intended. I mean, it'll get to a point, like, if this was being filled with, like, a pump and regular water, this will get to a point where it'll fill up to here and then it'll stop because that's where the vent is. But since it's this polluted water and it's toilets and stuff, it'll just flow over into the bathroom, which kind of I'm okay with, but at the same time, I'm also like, you know. All right, please bury her. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we've got all of the plumbing laid out for the bathroom that we're going to do. So we know what we're gonna have, right? I know that it's going to be sink, statue, toilet, and so this is polluted. Toilet, this is regular, polluted, regular, polluted, regular, and polluted. Okay, so that's all my toilets, and then I know for my sinks, that's regular, polluted, regular, polluted. So now that's going to be all of the plumbing for my bathroom. You don't want to run a pipe like this, like just right across all of the polluted. You could do it for this one down on the bottom, but what'll happen is if you run this pipe all the way around for the polluted, right, and we'll see it, when one's flushing and another one tries to flush, it'll actually get an error that says that it can't, because it'll be like, oh my god, the pipe is full, and that's just, it causes a huge problem. You should, and this is big with natural gas generators too, you should have kind of like a run-up to where it actually is going, right? So we're gonna have like, oh, that way that even if this pipe is full, like this sink ran and this pipe is full, then this one still has some space to put its pollution before it encounters a possible 10 kilograms of water, or in this case, polluted water in its bed. So we'll have regular bathrooms tomorrow. No big deal. I'm going to hold off on getting this dupe right now, even though I think food's not really a huge problem. We did get a message a second ago that said, hey, food's a problem, and so I'm not I'm not rushing the new person. I know there are a lot of people who like to eat, like, pretty much just, like, every single time that this thing lights up, they just grab a person and off they go. It's not a... If you're looking to sustain, probably not your best idea. So now that we have these bathrooms up, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete my 2 outhouses. Right, so these bathrooms are okay. And we can see that this water's just going to back up and it's going to go okay. So now that those 2 outhouses, I know that I planned for this one to also be a bathroom. So I'm going to build my lavatory. And then I'm going to get rid of that statue because I planned on moving that statue here. No, why would I build a fridge? I got no good reason to build a fridge right now, especially cycle 16. You are just wasting materials and power on a fridge, and even if you don't power it. Yeah, this is fine. This will last you. There are games where we'll get to like cycle 600 and we've just completely forgotten to build a fridge, right? Like, we'll get to, there was we did the full asteroid challenge where we dug out every single block on the asteroid, every block, including every block of lava that we could cool down into stone. We dug every block on the asteroid. It ended at cycle 750, and I'm pretty sure we never built a fridge. There's not a great reason. And then I'm going to be able to put a sink here. So we've got sinks. So I'm not going to delete this sink until this sink is built. When should you? When you have enough power that you don't have to worry about it, right? Like right now I'm only running this coal generator. So I'm not worried, but I don't want to overstress that system. This circuit right now has 900 watts on it, right? So safely, I can run another 100-watt device and be okay. But anything, and there's only a handful of things that come in under 100 watts. But if I ran like another 120-watt device, if I ran another deoxidizer, right? A deoxidizer takes oxygen, right? It takes 120 watts, which means that if I ran that at a consistent pace, what'll happen is I'll overload that circuit and I'm gonna burn out wires, and then I'm wasting copper. And copper is the, I would say it's a limited metal, but Jesus, look at all of this copper. This seed's actually not. This seed's a good seed. Look, there's a freaking, hey, that's a thing. You can put ration bins in a vacuum chamber to prevent the food from spoiling in front of a fridge. You can also do it in carbon dioxide. A vacuum would be really hard to maintain for food boxes. A vacuum would be really hard to maintain for food boxes unless you were trying to do the new automation stuff. New automation, that would be cool. That would be neat. But we're in a fairly good spot, right? Here's our first fridge. And so we're going to deconstruct this one. Or not fridge, I'm sorry. Here's our first sink. The automation for, like, ration box... automation can pull out of a ration box, right? Hey, Caleb. That would be cool. That would be a neat a neat thing to do, right? Store your food in a vacuum chamber and have it automatically pulled out as people need it by mechatronics. That would be neat. CO2 is much easier. Yeah, setting up a vacuum and maintaining a vacuum is kind of, yeah. That is no fun. So we're okay. What seed this is? Ready? Ready? Ed Cage, how are you? Welcome back. Ready? Take a screenshot. The world seed is underneath the quit to desktop bit. 12900300906. Alright, so now we've got a sync. So this is 17, right? And I think we're in a really good spot to kind of really decide to what we want to do, right? We've barely used any water. Okay. We've barely used any water. I can start managing heat by getting rid of these batteries and this generator away from the bedrooms, right? Because these are generating heat. Not a ton right now, but they are generating heat. And then we can start exploring. So we can come this way, and we're going to have to deal with slime if we go this way. I would go this way. This is the way, yeah, this is the way I would go, right? And the only reason that I'm going to go this way is because I find it easier to deal with a jungle biome than a slime biome. Slime biomes just require that you pay a little bit more attention to your dupes, right? So actually some of our dupes are getting sick because we're having food poisoning problems, okay? And we're having food poisoning problems probably because I had enough duplicants that were going to the bathroom without washing their hands to start. So we're just gonna, here you go. Food poisoning won't kill us, probably, but it'll be a huge inconvenience. So we're just gonna clean for a little bit. Before I go into, and this might be a good time to do it, so let's see, before we're gonna go into a slime biome, let's just make a quick little med bay, all right? So we know eventually your dupes are gonna get sick. Like it's gonna happen. There's no way around it. I don't think I've ever had a game where my dupes don't get sick, to be honest. So it's just gonna happen. So we're gonna build a med bay. And to start, that's just super easy. We're just gonna do, here's the door. We're gonna do a statue for decor so they feel a little bit better. We're gonna do 2 med beds. We're going to do another statue. So we'll do a statue. Oh, no, don't do that. We'll do a statue, because I'm good at this game. Statue, yep. Nope, I'm not. We're gonna do 3 paintings, just so they feel better. Then we're going to do mess table, and a lavatory. Let's cancel that, make it 2 wider. Okay, so that's gonna be our medicine. We're going to do we're gonna dig that out, and then we're going to do, ta-da, furniture. Statue. Okay, so sink, statue, bed, statue, mess table, lavatory. So I don't want them to do that quite yet, just because I want them to be able to dig this stuff out without having to come up here, but we're going. Med bay toilet doesn't have to have plumbing, it just needs to be there. I feel like that's evil. I feel like at some point that will probably be fixed, and I'm not willing to rely on it. That's just evil. Could you imagine being in the hospital, like the toilet in your room doesn't work? You'd be like, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom, but I can't get more than 20 feet away from my bed or I'm gonna die. And then you go into the bathroom and you're like, I'm gonna shit my pants, apparently. We're going to run. So we're doing coal, and that's great, except for coal's not a limited resource, but at least at the beginning, people don't seem to like to go into other places to get it. So what we're gonna actually do is we're going to run generic sensors and brute force refinement after that. And this is gonna give us the smart battery, which we're gonna use, we're not gonna make it by 20. but we would use the smart battery to run our coal generator only when we need power, and it's gonna actually kick back. What do you do with it? Deodorants. Yeah, you gotta deodorize that. So just be warned, be wary that when you deodorize air, it does not immediately kill the slime lung, right? If you have slime lung, which if you're mining a slime bone, they're gonna stick themselves in a wall in about 2 seconds. Ready? 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 Yep. What are you doing? Come on. Guys. 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 Come on. Okay, he's coming. I swear to God, sometimes it's like pulling frickin' teeth. It's like pulling teeps. It's like pulling teeth, people. Pumping chlorine in there as well is a good idea. Man, sometimes, guys, you're fighting with it. Alright, so we're good there. 18 done. 18 get. Alright. Let's reprioritize that. Let's 8 this, and 8 our research. Yeah, there we go. We saved them. We saved those dupes. Do we not have an artist? Did I kill my artist? Was that the artist? I don't know. So, you'll notice that we have 24,000 kilocalories, but this is 15 meal lice, which is actually 600 kilocalories each, and 14 mush bars. So we actually have a lot of meal lice that we need to go. Take my bits! Yes, thank you. That sounded... Yeah, you know what, we're just gonna leave that alone. So I'm gonna make some lice loaf because they can't eat the lice. Remember, we turned off their ability to eat lice. So that was a whole bunch of bits that they... Or that was a whole bunch of... I just said bits. Can I get into the slime biome before restarting? I mean, we could, but there's not really... We'll do a night on slime. People have been asking me to kind of do a couple of, like, really specific stuff before and post it to YouTube. I'm working on it. So... This is kind of a preparation for us making it into the slime biome, right? I want to make sure. God damn it! I keep doing this. Oh, was that the notification for it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't scroll up, but it was a thing. I want to make sure that I have this made before I do it. Because I have a tendency of killing... let's be honest, I have a tendency of killing dupes, but I have a tendency of killing dupes to slime lung super much. So then we're going to also do canvas, and canvas. So we're going to make this super pretty. Yeah, this was a cool idea. I was happy that somebody suggested it, and then you guys all actually have Ake to thank, because he's the one that was like, you have to do this! You know, you said you would do it, and I mean, I was going to. I had the best of intentions to do it. Move the bits notification down 20 pixels or so. Got it. Follow alerts down. Oh, wow. It's actually up a whole bunch. Okay. All right. Now it's going to be annoying. Slightly more annoying, but it'll be okay. All right. So we've got a pretty good start here, to be honest. From our rooms, we have a med bay that's actually qualified as a med bay. A full latrine, right? Toilets and sinks, fully plumbed. And we have a bedroom, right? We have a farm that's going to be a farm once we do that. We're not going to worry about that. I'm not going to worry about that. Hold on. Research, no. Agriculture. Stream refinement. I can't pull the new card anymore. It's been a month today. It's been a month. I can't pull the new card anymore. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Like I said before, I am literally just going to call you two by your numbers. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Thank you for the 10 bits. I hope everybody learned something tonight. I'm just refining my early game. I restart enough that that's kind of it's cool for me too to kind of be like, okay, how can I do this better? Like, what can I get better? So we are on cycle 20. And let's wait until the end of cycle 20, and then we'll kind of do a quick thing, and we'll blow it away, and we'll do it again. And that's going to be tonight. So I made as much lice loaf as I could get out of what I had available. But make sure that you remember that you did that, right? Or what's going to happen is this is going to run out, and then you're going to be kind of looking at this. There's going to be more meal lice, but they're not going to have anything they're going to be able to eat. And you're going to have forgotten to put it back over to mush bars. And then all of a sudden people are going to be like, I'm starving. And you're like, oh, crap. You know, well, here we go. Escherl. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. I'm not going to kill them all. I already killed one. No, I'm not killing them all. I kill enough dupes as it is. How many did we deal? Let's see. When we did the full asteroid challenge, how many did we kill? We killed like 15 dupes in full asteroid. I mean, that was just, oh boy. So we've got medical bay up and running. No, let's not find the VOD. Are we? We don't have an artist. Yeah, I killed the artist. Okay, promotion time. Ren, nails. I don't mind doing promotions right now. The only reason that I don't super mind doing promotions is because even though we don't have the food that they necessarily want, right? This is exactly what I meant, by the way, about not remembering to do mush bars, because I would have left that forever and ever and ever. And what would have happened is I would have like left that and then been like, why are my people starving? And then I would have been like, oh yeah, that's right, I turned it to lice loaf. And make sure, since I made lice loaf for the first time, these didn't know that lice loaf existed, so I have to come in here and change them to lice loaf. Right, so now they'll actually come and put lice loaf in the containers. So where would we go from here? From here, realistically, all of our basic needs are pretty well solved. The only thing that's got to kind of, right, that we're going to have a problem with sooner than later is algae. And we have so much algae up here that we can dig. We have so much, you know, algae down here. We've got all of this. There's really not, you're not in a rush, right? By 20, this base, as long as we dug out algae and we kept kind of digging areas, what I would do is I would actually come up here, and I don't want to make this entire area like every square that you mine, you have to fill with a gas, or you have to kick it out, right? So what I would do is I would end up putting like a mechanized airlock up here, something like that, and a tile, and so that way, even if I go above this door, right, and I come up here to get algae, I don't have to pressurize it, right? I don't have to worry about now pressurizing this, and that's just more space for these deoxidizers to have to pressurize. Notice I haven't dug over here because why? This would just be more space for this deoxidizer to have to pressurize. And we're not really having too many oxygen problems. So they're going to research, novice research for that, and it's going to be a thing. Okay, cycle 21. So let's take a look. We've got a farm up and running and growing, right? We've got space for 30 mealwood plants. This is a bunch. Our temperature, we've got a couple of temperature generators. Eventually what we could do is replace this stuff with abyssalite, or we can move this out of the way. We don't really need these batteries here anymore. We could get rid of those. Off goes some stuff. You kind of can't get rid of the deoxidizers because you need them for oxygen for a little while, but it's no big, huge deal. From a decor standpoint, bedroom's fine, right? Plus 137 decor. Even the most stingy of duplicants will find this to be more than acceptable. Our bathroom, the decor isn't super high, but it's getting a little bit, right? Negative 21. Some of them are going to be unhappy, but the fact that this gets a room bonus for being a lower stress, because it gets a room bonus for being a bathroom, is good. This is always going to have decent decor. Even our, once these get painted, it'll be better, and cut, it'll be better, but even our med bay has decent decor. This doesn't. So we're okay from that standpoint. From electricity, we've got one circuit running off of coal. We're doing all right there. From an oxygen standpoint, we're completely pressurized, and we've got carbon dioxide in all the places that we want it. We've got carbon dioxide over our storage, and we've got carbon dioxide over our food. The duplicants don't have to go far to get food, so they're only holding their breath for a second. What we want to do is get some air tiles and get the oxygen or the carbon dioxide out of these rooms. It's the only downside to this whole lip thing, but it's not a huge problem. So air tiles will be a thing, and then a farm tile will be a thing. And then from a room standpoint, we're actually taking advantage of a lot of the room bonuses, right? We're taking advantage of a med bay, we're taking advantage of a latrine, and we're taking advantage of a barracks. It's fantastic. So the map, seeing what I'm looking at, I would actually explore over here first. I'm not worried about water. We're not using water at all, and we've got these two bits of water up here that we can work on getting down here, right? We can either pump these two bits of water down here, or we can set it up so that they kind of flow and come down here, and we clean up whatever messes later. So I'm not worried about water. We've got plenty of polluted water here and here. This is clean polluted water that doesn't have any, germs in it. So even if I ran out of this fresh water, before I touch this geyser, I would be using this polluted water probably, because this geyser poses a lot of heat problems. And then off we would go. So let's take a look at the map real quick. The map says, how would we have dealt with power? So let's find the geysers. 13 dupes. Yeah, okay, full asteroid, 13 dupes died. All right, so here's a natural gas geyser. That's pretty far away. Crap, look at this biome. God damn. And I bet you anything the other one isn't natural gas. It's chlorine. Nope, natural gas. So 2 natural gas geysers. That's actually pretty good. So we probably would not have found these in any, super reasonable time frame. Which means what we would end up doing is taking this polluted water and making it into fertilizer, and then taking that fertilizer, storing it, and yeah, this is debug mode. It's cheating. It is. You can also instant build stuff and instant get rid of stuff. It's really good for learning if you have an idea and you're like, I really want to do this thing, but you don't know how, to kind of play around and do stuff, right? Because you can just okay, and then be like, oh, I want to build metal tiles, and do what you want to do. It's super cheating though. So what we would do is we would turn this polluted water. Yeah, abyssalite is just for doing temperature regulation. I would surround this in abyssalite sooner than later, because this is going to generate a lot of heat into my base. And I don't want to deal with that, right? You would surround those. I would surround my bedrooms with abyssalite and pump in cold air, so that way they don't get super hot. Abyssalate's just used for temperature regulation and moving around, like, really temperature-sensitive stuff. So, yeah, power would have been a problem at some point. We would have been, like... Because I would have come this way. This is a coldie. That's a squishy machine. Wow, look at that open space. That's cool. But I'm not worried about it. Alright, let's do the next one. I'm going to save this. Save as new save, starter 1. Confirm. And then just so it doesn't freak out when I quit. Yeah, okay. There's some bugs in the... Yeah, it's a squishy machine. It goes squishy, 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 squishy. I know people call it a slushy machine, but damn you, I'm calling it a squishy machine.